What's going on, everyone? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes, and this video is about this recent hack that happened on the Solana network. And let's just jump right into it. All right, so Solana's network has pretty much caused a 6 million exploit. So what does that mean? That means that anyone that was tied to these certain wallets, the accounts were just getting drained. And so first off, let's step back a little bit. If you don't know what Solana is, it is a layer 1 solution, meaning, you know, quote unquote, it's a ETH competitor. Okay. And so it's a pretty big network. You know, it's got a lot of funding behind it. Not one of my favorite ones because the network is also controlled by that funding. And Solana itself has had many times where it's shut down or certain things have happened to it, which causes it to shut down. And that's one of those things that, I mean, that the whole point of being in the crypto space is so that things don't get shut down, they don't get hacked, they're not being manipulated, or at least less manipulated than what we are currently used to. So this particular case right now, there was an issue. These attackers gained access to these wallets because they were hot wallets, meaning they were connected to the internet. So for example, an ETH hot wallet is MetaMask. For here, there's Slope and there's Phantom, I believe. Slope's I'm not too familiar with the Slope mobile wallet app. I've never used it myself, but I have used Phantom before. And so basically, what that means is that when it's a hot wallet, your private keys, the keys that give you access to this, they're accessible because it's still linked to the internet. Right? It's still connected. So if someone can hack into that, somehow they have some kind of virus or program or whatever it is, where they can manipulate your hot wallet to give them access to your codes. You know, game over. They can drain whatever they want. And here's the thing: what's being drained out of these wallets, and this I think is a key point. These wallets they're compatible with other types of coins. Right, so USDC, there may be some other ones in there. Like for example, an ETH MetaMask wallet, you can put a whole bunch of things in there, right? You can put an ApeCoin, you can have USDC, you can have Tether, you can have obviously ETH in there, but just a whole host of things. So all of these wallets that are tied to a particular chain or a particular network, you have the Solana network, you have the Avalanche network, all these different, and then wallets that are specific to those networks. And they call them hot because they're connected to the internet, and there's still a way to access them or hack into them, which is exactly what happened. So $6 million worth of coins, whether they be, you know, it's a combination of Solana, USDC, and maybe some other coins as well, were taken out, and like Twitter was going nuts because people were losing a significant amount of what they had. And you got to remember this. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys right here. Coin market cap. Okay. Where is Solana here? So this is ranked number 9. So it's top 10 in market cap. Okay, so we're looking at let's get out of here. So we are looking at, you know, what is this? 13 billion market cap. So top 10 in the cryptocurrency market, right? So not a small protocol by any means, and very popular. So you can imagine the amount of people that are invested in this protocol and the amount of money they have tied up in it. Okay, so things are just being drained left, right, and center. And yesterday when I was, you know, reading about this, it was 4 million that was being exploited, and it was about 8,000 wallets that had been drained, and now we're up to 6 million, and I believe we're at 9,000 wallets, okay, that have been drained. So what's the point of all this? Like, here's what I made a video earlier. I can't remember when. You guys can check it out. Am I a Bitcoin maxi? And what does that mean? That means am I a Bitcoin maximalist? And if you don't know what that means, that literally means it is Bitcoin or nothing. So there's a whole subgroup in crypto space that is only about Bitcoin. Don't talk to me about anything else. Everything else is garbage. Bitcoin is the end all be all of crypto. And they have their place because they were the ones that pushed this entire space forward by being, diehard fans of Bitcoin and diehard supporters. So through the chaotic times from inception to now, they were just full on, right? And they didn't let that momentum die, and they created a stronger network and more adoption through word of mouth and all that. So they have their place, but they have no tolerance for any other project, right? Solana, ETH, and then when these things happen, there's a lot of negativity that happens, a lot of I told you so's that happen. But what's the point here is that I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but every single time something like this happens where there's a hack, whether it be on Solana, whether there be an issue with Avalanche or Algorand or any other project out there, I just start to lean more towards Bitcoin. You lose no sleep over Bitcoin, right? It's not the fastest network. It doesn't have many use cases in terms of what most people are aware of, at least common use cases like the common person would know. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. You just have to dive deep. So really it's just a set it and forget it type asset. And that's not sexy to people. That's not exciting. They want that excitement, that gambling feeling to some degree. And you don't get that with Bitcoin. So I'm not going to lie. I'm actually more and more leaning towards Bitcoin. I don't lose sleep. I just dollar cost average, and I don't have to worry about hacks. I don't have to worry about wallets manipulating what the network does. Really, it's about social sentiment that can move the markets up and down, but it's pretty stable now with everything that's happening. We're still sitting in the same price range, and the value just continues to get bigger and better. Okay, so it's something to think about. Okay, I definitely think that the space is going to evolve. It's not going to be right now it's not a Bitcoin only type space. There's room for a lot of growth. There's room for innovation that right now Bitcoin is not doing. And there'll be multiple winners in the space, I'm sure. But right now, to be in these protocols in a hefty amount, like you're taking a risk. And I'll even go back here a little bit. Because the hot wallets were affected, not the cold wallets. Cold wallets meaning the hardware, like a USB type ledger or Trezor or something of that nature, where it's not linked to the internet. Those are fine. So even the Solana that you had there, the USDC that you have there, those are not affected by it. So maybe not be a Bitcoin maxi, but definitely have a cold wallet. Take your stuff off the hot wallets unless you are transitioning into something in the short term where you need it. You don't need anything in those hot wallets. Okay, so I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm leaning definitely more towards it. Every day I find more value in it and more appeal to it. But the cold wallet is the end all be all. And here's the thing. Anyone who's in the crypto space for any length of time, we always end up at cold wallets being where we want to keep things. I heard it when I was first coming into this space, and I didn't pay it any mind. Who cares? Leave it on an exchange. Not a big deal. I want to use it. And then the exchange starts to do funny things with it, and then they go bankrupt. They cause issues, the centralized exchanges, right? Then you hear about hot wallets not being safe, and then hot wallets are getting attacked. So that's what I do now. I keep very, very minimal amount in my hot wallets, if any, and that's only if I'm going to do something with them, and the remainder just sits in my cold wallets. Okay, so I wanted to touch on this. Everyone's been talking about the Solana hack, and I'm sure mainstream media is going to jump all over it. They love anything that has to do with hacks or leaks or whatnot. There's no difference in traditional finance, right? We're hearing leaks like 6 million. That's nothing compared to what happens in the space where they're getting fined hundreds of millions and stuff's being stolen all the time. But having said that, we are in this space for holding your own assets, controlling them, and having decentralization. And if you're on chains or on networks that are completely centralized, don't have the security, and are linked to, and you're linking still to hot wallets, you are 100% exposed. Okay, so I feel terrible for the 9,000 wallets that have been drained. It's just a painful lesson. and hopefully hopefully this doesn't happen again, to be honest with you. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Yes, the whole hacking news is important, but the takeaways from it are even more important. Get off the hot wallets, get off the exchanges, have a cold wallet, and for me, Bitcoin is king. All right, guys, remember, tomorrow never comes. Take action, invest in yourself today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.